Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, people, wherever you are watching this. This is our fourth or fifth video interview we've done in our coaches chat series for BazookaGoal. We've had some great guests on so far, and even bigger today, we've got the Mr. 3v3 himself, all the way from Norway. So we'll jump straight into it, Finn. I'll let you introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do. So yeah, if you want to give us a brief background on yourself.
Yeah, my name is Finn. I live in Nittedal, close to the capital Oslo. I'm born further north in Norway, but I lived down here for 25 years. I'm so lucky to have 3 kids, and when you have kids, they start to play football. And when they start to play football, they need a coach. So I volunteered because my son were eager to start his football career, and he started 1 year before it was like normal here. And they said, that's okay if you volunteer as a coach. And of course I did that. And since this is 20 years ago, so I volunteered, and since then I've been a coach for U6 to U13 twice with both my sons. I see when they turn 13, they are sick of having their dad around all the time, so I just step aside and let the better coaches take over. Even though I have some courses, so I think I'm a pretty decent coach, but it's sometimes good to step back and let others take over when they have a certain age. In this work with volunteering as a coach, I got good contacts in my local club. And in 2010, they asked me if I had an idea for a fun football tournament. Because we were a small club, and these normal 11v11 tournaments, they are all over the place. So for some reason, they asked me if I had an idea for a fun tournament. And I said, yeah, I coach a lot of 3v3 in the coaching sessions. I think that could be possible to do as a tournament as well. So in 2010, we did some local tests without any fencing, nothing. We had to find out how big the pitch should be and stuff like that. So we had one local with just our own players at my club, and it was, yeah, we liked what we saw. We saw that all the players were involved in the game, and small kids that never scored a goal in their life scored their first goal. Tears was falling from their eyes, and so we understood this is good for the kids, it's good for the parents, it's good for everyone. So then we had a new test tournament, and that was even better. And then I started to look for fencing for 3v3 fences. It took a long time to find that, but I got a factory in Denmark to build some net pitch for me. I could afford 6 of them, and I bought them, and we had our first tournament. And that's 10 seasons or 10 years ago this summer. Yeah, that's the short version. Yeah.
Well, it is, say, seeing how it's built from there, and now you're, I say, 12 years doing this. I bet obviously you've seen how the equipment has evolved, but I bet you've seen now players who started at under 6 who are now, let's say, under 15, 16. Have you seen, how much it's helped their game? Has it made a difference? Or, what you've seen these kids come right through the process now? What benefits have you seen 3v3 bring to their game now?
Yeah, let's say the first 5-6 years, I followed kids from they were, my tournament was in the age range 6 to 13 years, their first 5, 6, 7 years. And so I was so lucky that I could follow kids from they were 6 to 12, 13 and come back to the tournaments every year and going to nearby tournaments that I had. So I met them 3-4 times a year for a long period. So of course, then you get to know them, you get to know their parents, and they talk about how they develop as players. And I saw that the most eager players that participated the most, they developed the play. And in that time, everybody talked about tiki-taka, Barcelona play, and stuff like that. Of course, it was good to see that you could see the development on the kids. You could see that the most the guys who girls and boys that trained the most and played the most 3v3 were the better players. And now today, actually, a few of them are playing in the Norwegian top division, and that's crazy. It's really fun to meet them again and talk about when they were 10, 11 years. So and then made it to the Norwegian top.
Full journey.
That's that's not a lot of them. There were just a few, and that's maybe some I don't know about also. So yeah. Well, there's no doubt that 3v3 benefits the technique and the understanding of the play, and especially the close play. Yeah.
No, I remember a couple of months ago, just before the Euro started, and I sent you the current Norway team, and you look at that young talent that is there, and knew you'd done this for years now, and it's like, okay, this is. They might not have been involved a lot or at all, but it's coming through now. Like the England have done it when they changed their England DNA program, and that was 12 to 15 years ago. So all these players who are coming through now are part of that. When we started 5v5 games, 12 years ago, when the kids had to play that rather than 11v11, this is the full cycle now. The kids who are coming through have all gone through those stages, and obviously we're keen in the UK and England to try and push 3v3, especially at the younger age group. So how have you helped develop that the 3v3 just in your club or in your area or with the Norwegian FA? What work do you do now then with that?
What I do now?
So with 3v3 with like the FAs or any big clubs?
Yeah, the whole thing with 3v3 was not to do anything more than doing it in my club. But of course, when we had the first tournament, the neighbor clubs came, and clubs from Oslo came, and they said, we want to do the same thing. And I said, of course, I can come over and do a tournament for you. And this just developed. And in 2014, the Norwegian FA told me that we have to do something together, because it's not right that you as a private person should be the 3v3 guy in Norway. It should be like the federation. And of course, I was willing to work with the federation. They are professionals. They have coaches. They have everything that would help 3v3 develop in Norway. So in 2014, it was the first meeting we had where we did something together. And they wanted to do it full range all over Norway, but of course they needed sponsors. It's when the federations do this, they don't do it halfway. They will do it like full out. So in 2018, they got the Santander sponsor, the same guys who sponsored Champions League. And from 2018, it's been a very, very interesting work with the Football Federation, where we built fences for them. We put Santander logos all over the place. And we can offer the tournament for free to clubs, because Santander is paying all our costs to do this. They bought how many fields? I don't remember how many fields, 70, 80 fields, hangars to put behind cars to all the districts in Norway. So all the local FAs have a car hangar with 4 fields. So there are 3v3 tournaments that we do, but also local clubs can borrow the fields for free to have their own smaller local events. And yeah, so to work with the federation to bring it wider out in the country has been vital for me, and also correct. I think, of course, I can do it alone as well, but when you have the federation, it's more official, and it's what's the English word? But it's more official in a way. Right. And of course, there are. When we started playing, it was 11v11. I remember how far it was from your own box to the opposite box. It took me 5 minutes to run that distance. But of course, the old guard say, no, we don't want 3v3, we don't want 5v5 and 7v7, nothing. They want just to play 11 versus 11. So when the federation is backing the program, it's easier to get the acceptance that this is a smart way to play football. So yeah, short, the Football Federation has been vital for me, and I'm very, very glad that they are willing to do this.
Oh, good. So,
and of course, they are looking to Belgium. They started 3v3 years ago. Denmark on and off. Sweden started 2 years ago. So yeah.
No, it's spreading. So the children then in Norway, do they like have to play 3v3 at a certain age, or do they mix it up? And how often do they play 3v3 games or tournaments?
They are. It's the official when you're 6 and 7. 3v3 is what you play, nothing else. So the clubs have. You don't go to the neighbor club to have a match. In Norway, we don't. For 6 and 7 years old, we don't write down the results.
Yeah,
there's no table like you won and you lost. Some hate it, some think it's okay because you have focus on development, not on winning. But so when you're 6 and 7, you play 3v3 and you have games, and you have game weekends, because you don't travel and play one game of 3v3 and then go back again. You have 5 games in one day in a 3-hour span. Yeah, so they have here where I live, we have 6 rounds before July and 4 rounds after, starting now in the end of August. So total 10 rounds. So approximately 50 matches, 3v3 for all the 6 and 7-year-olds.
And then as they get older, do they still play it, or do they move on to bigger formats only then?
Yeah, so when they're 8 years old, they play 5v5, 8 and 9. And when they are 10 and 11, they play 7 versus 7. When they are 13, they play 9 versus 9. And when they are 14, they play 11 versus 11. So
that's the official game. But within the clubs, do they still do 3v3 with the older children? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I see that it's a drop of when we started, when this was new. We some places we had to have it up to 16 years old because it was new and it was they liked it. But after now for 3 years, it's been for 6 and 7 years old. Some tend to say that it's childish to do it when you are 8 and 9, because then you're up a level to play 5v5. So we see that when we have up to 12 and 13 years, it's not a lot of teams in that age group. It's more friends that just put a team together and come and play.
Mm.
So yeah, so it's most popular 6, 7, 8, 9, a little bit childish, 10. Yeah. So, but
no,
they are still there.
We've had the same issues then in the UK, and everyone wants to play the bigger game. But I always said, come down and try it. And we had just a couple of weeks ago, we had 16 to 18-year-olds playing it, and they absolutely loved it. You know, they wanted to go back and do it again, because it was something different for them to do. It wasn't the same training that they always do, and our same kind of matches. And I run a men's league, and some of the men who play, you know, they love it because they're always on the ball. They have to work 10 times harder. There's no rest, and it's just fun. And we've always tried to put the emphasis on the fun side of that. You know, that's what it's about, is enjoying football. And as we get older, we try and get more serious, and everything's always all about winning. Whereas the kids, you know, my lad's 12, and he loves playing it because he gets to go and express himself all the time, and he can practice things then that he can then take into his bigger games. So no, he loves playing it, and always has done. And he was one of my guinea pigs. He started it off when he was just 6 and 7, but now we've worked through as well. So we've gone from where it started to where we are now. What's your vision in Norway? Where do you see 3v3 going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Oh. Yeah, no, I think it will be more and more popular. I think you will see more and more clubs, because that's actually the strange thing when you travel around for 10 years. And sometimes you meet people who say, wow, is this a new thing? 3v3, what is that? I said, okay, been doing this for 10 years, but okay. So there's a lot of work to do still to tell people about the style of play, and yeah, I think it will grow. Yeah, I'm sure, and more clubs will afford to buy their own equipment as well, to have it in the training facilities, not just in game days, but also at coaching lessons to play in the fields. And we've been lucky there with sponsorships from banks especially. Let's say if you buy a field, we will cover 70% of the cost if we have our brand on it and stuff like that. So it's more and more normal to see them on the training grounds. So yeah, I think it will be.
So
it will grow.
You've seen then from like the original net pitch, which you designed, and then the block ones, and then the air pitch and the torpedo net. So you've seen the fences, as you call them. You've seen them develop now over the years, and so what's the difference 3v3? And when I was speaking to someone at the FA, I said, we love the air pitch and the bazooka goals and everything it brings, but you can play 3v3 with just 2 cones, on a street, on a park. Anyone can play it. It's not just on the air pitch. But obviously you've seen how the game has adapted from when you started to now with the air pitches and the torpedo net that's coming out soon. What's that added to the enjoyment of 3v3?
Well, first of all, I agree that you can just put up some cones, and sometimes it's easy. You can play 3v3, but we did a test with the Swedish FA. It's a video out there on YouTube I made, but I think it's 3-4 years maybe ago. The Swedish FA, we had a tournament, and we had net pitches, and we had pitches without anything, just parents fencing it. And they were standing there with stopwatches. And for a whole day, the exact time, and it was fun. It was not like for a whole day on the pitch without fencing, the ball was out of play exactly 50% of the time. Not 49, not 45, but exactly 50. They were stopwatching the whole day. So of course, if you have fences, you have the double play, and when the ball is not out to play, it's really intense. You have to focus. You have to work with your head when you're fatigued. So yeah, fencing is important. You can do it without, but it's just half the fun. So and the development is also when I started with net pitches, I was thinking, okay, I have to carry this around. As I told you, this was meant to be a local thing. But when I had to carry it around all over Norway, I was just talking, how can I pack it so I can just travel with my car? It was easy as that. And so that was the beginning. But it was a good start, but the net pitches, yeah, we have developed since then. And the aluminum pitches that they make in Sweden, they are really good. Very good to have. Yeah, they are lightweighted. I won a competition from the federation where they had some standards that it had to meet to before we could sell them, and it was safety and weight, things like that. And after that, of course, we found out that the air pitch could be a solution, because the Scandia pitch, as we call it, is expensive. It's made of aluminum. It's made in Scandinavia. It's not made in China, so of course it's much more expensive. So then we came up with a solution that could be in the middle range, a little bit more expensive than a net pitch, far better price than the aluminum pitch. And we tested the air pitch. I tested it in my backyard for months. And it's,
I've seen that. I think that's every kid's dream is to live in your back garden with that pitch.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's so easy. I mean, it has to be easy. And I mean, it takes 8 minutes to blow it up, and it takes 10 minutes to suck the air out of it. It's the easiest pitch that you can buy. Yeah, and it's really solid. So
no, yeah. I've got
what's next? I don't know. We'll see.
No, I'm taking 8 down to a tournament this weekend, and thought, oh, do we need loads of people to put them up? And it's like, no, a couple of people work through the process of each one. It's quite simple, really. And we've seen that what you said there regarding the intensity, what you get on the air pitch, compared to 3v3 is great, but yeah, the air pitch just makes it a bit better, a lot better. And it was when we had last tournament, or one at Easter, where the FA come down, and we had, just by chance, not designed, not planned this way, but we had a non-air pitch game and an air pitch game side by side, just how it ended up being planned on the day. And they were like, you can just see the difference, without having to sit there and stop watch it. And we've done that, or we've got proof it, exactly how long it's in play. But they said, yeah, you could just see between the two games how different it was, and how much more the air pitch that we use then just adds to what all the benefits you get out of 3v3. So I'd like to thank you again for your time, Finn. Like I say, these are a series of going around speaking to people about small-sided games. Like I say, yeah, you're one of the pioneers. Like I say, from 10, 11 years ago, and just how it's grown. And it's been great to work with you and learn off you the last couple of years since I've been involved with BazookaGoal and the 3v3 Europe. Hopefully, I want to say, when all these restrictions get out, we'll bob over to Norway one day and come and see how you do over there. And you're always welcome to come over to England and see what we do. We've even got some sunshine today, which is rare. So yeah, thanks for your time, Finn.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. So we'll post this around now on our social medias and say on our mailing list. And say if people have got any questions, how can they contact you anyway, Finn? What's the best way for them to get in touch with you if they want to find out more about what you do?
Yeah, they find TV3 Norge, not Norway, but Norge on Facebook. They find us on Instagram. They find us online, tv3.no, or
Cool. No, we'll put them links in there as well. But again, thanks for your time, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Sorry for my English, but I did the best I could, and see you soon.
It's my first language, and you still speak it better than me, so well done.
Thank you.
Cheers now. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.